inviting me. I'm really excited. I've been following you and watching you, and I just everything you do is like brings joy, and I'm curious. Right now, especially, we need a lot of joy. We need joy, and we need magic. Um, and what made you want to be a magician, and how does food come into play? And tell me all about the two and how they interplay.
Well, like most young kids, my father got me a little magic kit when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I've been doing magic for maybe 35 years. I specialize in a subset of magic called mentalism and mind reading. It's the illusion of reading minds and stuff like that. And we'll try some stuff later in this little Zoom meeting.
I
But yeah, I've been into entertaining. I've been really into entertaining since I was born. My name is Josh, which is kind of like a metaphor for my life because I've been joshing people from day one. My goal in life really is to entertain, make people smile and laugh, and sometimes cry with joy. But
sometimes cry with joy.
since the age of 5, I've been utilizing magic and now mentalism, mind reading to entertain. But the goal is to make people smile. For me, it's not about a magic trick. It's more about people being entertained and all about my goal is to push positivity out into the world.
Yes.
And times like these, there's no time like a time like this where everyone needs a little, if not a lot of positivity. The shows that I actually do for corporations and individuals around the world have a theme. My shows are about connection. The last couple of years, I like to show I like to use mind reading, the magic tricks to show how we're all connected. And it's nothing like a nice little pandemic to show you how the world is really all connected.
Absolutely. So tell us more about that. What struck you the most during this time for you in terms of connection and the pandemic?
Well, I've been telling my audiences and friends that we're all connected, but this pandemic is kind of proof. Like, someone in China gets a virus, the next thing you know, the whole world is affected.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we really got to stay positive, I think.
Yeah.
Everything affects everything, indirectly, directly. So that's why I think everyone really should learn to. I mean, in some situations it's tough, but I try to look at the bright side of everything as a whole. So that's why I really just love staying positive. And short term, and people are getting sick and dying. That's awful. But
yes,
in the long term, as a whole, I think we can get through it and be a stronger, better world. To be honest.
absolutely, I agree. And I think someone like you and people like you and people who are light workers, are really, their light is shining even brighter right now, and your purpose and the purpose of people who are here on this earth to spread joy and good vibes and positivity. I think even more so for me, and it's so striking that this is what you're what you're supposed to be doing here on earth. And it takes a pandemic to sort of like solidify all that sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when I started off this podcast, I started in December because I wanted to have really meaningful conversations. And really, like as soon as the pandemic this started, it just made so much more sense, that, and everything you're saying, we're connected, and our purpose here is to spread light. And I want to hear more about, the fact that, you're in this, you're doing this magic, and you're living this life. Like what gets you down, if anything?
Well, it's interesting because my whole life before the pandemic was the opposite of social distance. My whole life was social, going out every day and night, eating at different restaurants in New York, America, and the world, entertaining people in all cities in America, New York, the world. So the pandemic, my greatest fear is probably loneliness, but which is social, being social distant to people is I don't want to say greatest fear, but is the opposite of what my life was. So I don't want to. The thing is, I like to look at the bright side of everything. So I don't want to say it gets me down being alone, but luckily we have these avenues to reach out to other people and see other people, like these Zoom meetings that we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
And now more than ever, people really need to be entertained and need a shining light and positivity. So luckily with technology, there are ways to connect. So I've been doing actually Zoom magic shows for people and birthdays and corporations every week now.
So people can find you on Instagram
foodiemagician.com. I do miss the human interaction, but people, a lot of people and companies, they want entertainment. They're craving entertainment, which is good.
Definitely. Yeah, because it's like a team building thing. They need to feel connected in a big way, even though they're not together working. I agree. I mean, when I say it gets you down, it's like, because I followed you on Instagram, I follow you and I see, you talk a lot about like, this is like pandemic, not my jam. Like I need to be with people. It's very funny the way you're very vocal about that. And it's true. I'm the same way in terms of like, I need to be around people and all of that. And it's just taught me to be very self-reliant, more than I ever have been in my life. And it really got me down for a while. But then now it's sort of like, you know what? I am my own best friend. Okay. I am.
Yeah. Well, you really got to roll with the punches, as I say.
Yeah.
As I say, but actually, in the long term, it kind of makes you a stronger person. If you could be strong alone and internally, then it just makes you a stronger person, really.
Yes, absolutely. I think now it's all about the endurance of it, because now it's like, we know we can do it, but now it's like, how much longer? Because it feels like it's never going to end. There's someone power washing the outside, by the way.
That's it's what if the greatest thing, one of the greatest things of this pandemic is it actually taught me how to clean. Because I used to have my cleaning lady come. So now I've been cleaning more than ever. Have I cooked at all? No, I still do not cook. As the Foodie Magician, the only magician mentalist comedian in the world that eats at restaurants all day and all night during the pandemic, takeout all day, all night, just takeout, supporting all the restaurants, local restaurants.
Amazing. I want to talk about that. Yeah.
I don't cook though, but I have not cooked one meal in my apartment, which I've been in for around 8 years here. But I have learned to clean because you got to get rid of the dust. So that's a good thing. So thank you, coronavirus, for forcing me to clean my apartment. There's always a bright side of pandemic.
That's great. No, it is. There's so many bright sides. It's dark, but there are bright sides to it for sure. So speaking of food, so you never cook. You don't cook a thing. You don't even make toast for breakfast.
I don't. No, I know. I'm an interesting, unique individual. I don't cook at all. I mean, I can. I just choose not to. I'm obsessed with food and restaurants. That's my whole shtick. That's why they call me the Foodie Magician, not fruity, sometimes fatty magician. I just love going out and eating at restaurants. And I've always been obsessed and passionate about food. But in 2006, I started a food blog, nycfoodie.com. This is before Instagram days. This is more closer to like the days of MySpace. Remember MySpace?
Yes, I do.
But so, because I was always into food and living in New York, the greatest city in the world, and with an amazing selection of awesome restaurants, I would go out every day and night to different restaurants. My friends would know this. I was an expert and still am an expert in New York City restaurants. And they would always ask me for restaurant suggestions. So I started a blog, nycfoodie.com. And then, of course, Instagram came about, couple years later, and I started Instagramming every dish and restaurant I went to, so I'm kind of like a walking Zagat. I'm a guide. If you can tell me where you are in New York, now I branch out to other cities in the country actually, but if you tell me where you are in New York, I can tell you where to eat.
Okay, so I live on the Lower East Side right now. I'm going to move to Brooklyn soon, to Brooklyn Heights. So give me your top 3 Lower East Side picks and your top 3 Brooklyn Heights picks.
Well, the Lower East, I live in the East Village, so not too far from you. The East Village, Lower East Side has some of the best restaurants in New York. If I was and now are we talking delivery, takeout, or dine in? Like there was no pandemic.
Oh,
all right. Let me just tell you, because there's so many great restaurants in the Lower East. My favorite slice of pizza actually is in the Lower East Side, and I love pizza a little too much.
I was
Scars.
going to ask you what Scars. I live on that. I was going to ask you what's your favorite pizza. Actually,
Stars Pizza on Orchard Street between Canal and Hester is such a magical slice. If you really are into Italian, you can do it bang bang. You go to Scars for a slice or two of pizza, then you go across the street to Regina's Grocery and get a great Italian sandwich.
which I haven't even tried yet, and I'm Italian. I know, it's terrible.
It's very good. It's very good. I love Regina. She and her son own that place. Very cool, great, right across the street from Scars. Down the block from Scars, of course, you got Kiki's, which is a nice, super casual, fun Greek restaurant.
Love it.
Then if you go to East Broadway, you have the #1 Malaysian cafe in all of New York, Kopitiam, Kopitiam. Kopitiam is a great Malaysian cafe. There's not too many Malaysian restaurants in Manhattan. You venture out to Queens, you get a couple more, but Kopitiam on East Broadway, great Malaysian. You go down East Broadway towards the East River on East Broadway, you got Wu's Wonton King on the corner of East Broadway and Essex. Great Chinese, like roast pig, and if you eat that, and they got crabs, very good. Then there's a newer restaurant on East Broadway called Ernesto's. The cuisine of the Basque Country. They opened up this year. I feel bad for a lot of these restaurants that just opened up and then they had to close. But there's so many great restaurants on the Lower East Side. But that's where I would take you on a little tour. We would go to Scars, Regina's, Kiki's, Wu's Wonton King, and then I'll take you to Ernesto's for some. And then we can go to Ice and Vice for ice cream, or the Donut Plant for a donut, whatever you want.
Oh my God, both.
I turned my scale off, so who cares?
Who cares? Well, why don't we plan that after the pandemic, or when we can when everything's open? Well, at least I would think these places are open, right? I mean, they are, most of them open.
Yeah, they are. They're doing takeout. Yeah, they are. They're all doing takeout. I don't know about Ernesto's, but they are doing takeout. Brooklyn Heights, of course, you got Vinegar Hill House, of course, is a great American restaurant. A lot of people love this Italian restaurant called Noodle Pudding. Have you heard of Noodle Pudding?
No.
It's kind of like this. Is it old school Italian? I don't know. I went once. That's very good in Brooklyn Heights. Brooklyn Heights, by the way, I'm glad you're moving there. Every time I walk through it, these beautiful brownstones, and the best thing about Brooklyn Heights is they have a street called Love Lane, which is when I do my magic shows. The first thing I tell my audience is that magicians and mentalists perform tricks. Sometimes when I perform tricks, real magic happens. The only thing in life that's real magic is love. #still single. We will pull through. But anyway, so Love Lane in Brooklyn Heights, that's cool. So,
well, I have to say, you're saying everything. It's almost like you're reading my mind, because I was going, you really are. I was going to ask you about your hashtags, because they actually crack me up.
Like what? Like, well, I try to do a lot of #still singles, because I eat so much food. Sometimes it's bad food, sometimes it's good food, but I'm like, of course I'm single. All I do is eat all day.
You're not going to be single for long, Josh.
Well, we'll see.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. So well, talk to us about that. How is it to date, dating a magician? I mean, are women like, what happens there?
That's a great question. I don't want to say I don't go on many dates. I don't date often. I when there's no pandemic, I'm entertaining at events, traveling the country most weeks. So I don't want to use an excuse as I don't have time to date, but I don't have that much time. So when people ask me a lot, like, how do you choose where to eat? Because I literally eat at different restaurants every day and night. The answer to that is I usually don't choose. I let the universe guide me. I rarely plan my meals. I let it happen very spontaneously. And so that's why I don't go on that many dates, because then I'd have to plan something, which
why can't you use the same principle as you do to choose a restaurant?
Well, the principle I use to choose a restaurant is it's all spontaneous.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
I guess you're right. I guess I could do that, but no. But when you go on a date, you want to make sure it's a little more set up, and you don't want a girl getting pissed off at you. I will say I tend to also 90%. I would say 9 and 10 times I go out with a date, maybe 10 and 10 times I try to impress them with magic, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I like to stand out from the pack and do a little magic, because most people on dates can't do what I can do, and I will show you in a moment what I can do.
Okay, so if we were on a date, what would you do? Magic, like what? We're on a date right now.
Well, I would probably do an hour show of magic, Myron, and comedy. You'd be like, cool, that was awesome, but don't you want to get to know more about me? And I'll be like, not really. And then just kidding. No, well, I was gonna say. So what I was saying is, I specialize in mentalism. This is mind reading, but when I was younger, I used to do card tricks. I went to I'm from New York, but I went to a college called Bucknell University in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Business major, minor in film studies. My nickname was the Card Man. I used to do card tricks to drunk fraternity people. Now I do it to drunk people that aren't in fraternities. But let me try something with you right now, because and I know we're over Zoom and this is all virtual. Can you see the deck of cards? Can you see it?
Yeah.
You see it, right? In this deck, I reversed one card.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you that just using a simple card trick, how you and I are connected. There's 52 cards in the deck. I want you to name out loud a card. Any card you want. What card do you want? Take your time. There's red, there's black. You know the names of cards, right? Well, let's start with this. Do you want a red card or black card?
I want a red card.
Okay, that narrows it down to hearts or diamonds. Do you want a heart or a diamond?
A heart.
Of course. Now this is where it gets interesting. We're narrowing it down. Remember, there's 52 cards. We're getting to the hearts. The ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, or king. Take your time with this. I'll show you the power of connection in one moment. Which heart do you want? Take your time.
Got it.
Say it out loud so everyone can hear.
Jack.
Okay, the jack of hearts. Now, let me ask you something. Is that a random card or a card that means something to you?
Random.
Okay, I knew you and I were connected because this whole time I've not left your sight. I've been holding this deck of cards. But, of course, I've also had this red card in my hand the whole time. Of course, the card I had in my hand the entire time talking to you has been the jack of hearts, the card that you just said. But wait a minute. I have not left your sight. In this deck, I told you from the beginning, I reversed one card. You can see they're all faced one way, right?
Uh-huh.
But you see there's a card. Can you see there's a card reversed?
Yes. Yes.
Right? Of course, the card that I reversed in the deck is the jack of hearts, the card that you just said. I said, but there's more because I knew I'd be on the Zoom with you.
Amazing.
So excited. I was like, oh my God, how much cologne should I put on? I got to smell good on the Zoom. I drew a picture of you. Just look. Watch, take off her hat. She reaches into the hat and takes out one card out of every card. Do you see what it says?
Get out.
Anyways, that's some card mind reading connection.
That is amazing. Oh my God.
By the way, I would never bring three decks of cards on a date. Usually it's just one. So
yeah. I totally got it. That's really, really cool. Wow, Josh. I mean, who wouldn't there you go. That's all you need to do. And then the woman's like putty in your hands.
Well, maybe.
Or completely terrified. No, just kidding.
Right.
I saw the segment of when you were on Seth Meyers, and that was really funny when you totally freaked him out. How did you do that? How do you know the restaurant that someone's thinking about?
I'm good. Well, I'm good at my job. Oh, are you on your computer right now?
I am.
Okay, here. Do you have your phone near you?
I do.
Well, so my signature trick as the Foodie Magician is people think of restaurants in New York or whatever city they're in, and I read their minds. And I did that to Seth Meyers on his show. He was thinking of a restaurant, and I guess it. Virtually, we're going to do a little differently. Actually, are you allowed to say your phone number? Because I want to. You know what? I'm going to put in the chat. No, I want to text you a phone number that you're going to call. It's going to be a restaurant, but I don't want to. Okay. Here, I don't have your number though.
All right. Shoot.
Never mind. I won't do this trick. Because I got to text. My trick that I've been doing with the restaurants. I text someone a phone number to a restaurant in New York, and whatever restaurant that you think about or say, it'll be the restaurant, and you call it up, and it's the restaurant. We don't have to do it because I don't want everyone to hear your phone number. So we'll do it. I can do it.
Oh no, let's do it. Darn it, I don't have. Okay, all right, we'll do another trick.
All right, so let me try to get on your wavelength and my wavelength. We got the jack of hearts. I'm going to write down. I'm going to write down a number on this piece of paper. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I'm putting the pencil down. I don't think there's anything. I wrote down nothing in my head. I wrote down a number between 1 and 100. Yep. Take your time. Name a number out loud between 1 and 100. Let's see how close you get to what I wrote or how connected we are. What name a number between 1 and 100? Take your time.
47.
What?
47.
Now, is that random or mean something to you?
Just doesn't mean anything to
No,
me.
but it's crazy. We must be connected because the number I wrote before you said it was exactly 47.
Ah.
No, but on my phone, I have a list of 100 different celebrities.
Wow.
At 47,
Yeah.
is a celebrity. They're all different, and I'm going to show you, and hopefully you'll be able to pick this up. Do you want to keep 47? That'll mean keeping one celebrity, or do you want to switch to a different number, which will be a different celebrity? So it's up to you, because this has everything to do with the power of connection, the power of magic. Do you want to keep 47 or change it and come close?
Okay, I'll change it.
Okay, interesting. So changing 47 is changing to a different celebrity. Some reason you felt compelled in your heart and your mind to change it to what number?
Can I tell you? I'm telling you now, 72.
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to go to my notes. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to go to celebrities. So now they're all different. Are you able to see all of them or no?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah,
Just
Tom,
one.
Ben Affleck, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, they're all different, right?
Yeah.
But you, for some reason, went from 47 to 72. And who's at 72? I can't see.
Go up a little bit, Yeah, yeah, meaning right. 72 is, oh my God, Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn. Okay, so you switched. You could have gone with.
She's my favorite. Yes.
You could have gone with Angelina Jolie, but you, for some reason, felt compelled in your heart to switch to 72, who's Audrey Hepburn. Out of 100 different celebrities, you went with Audrey Hepburn.
I did.
Does she mean something to you?
She does. Oh my God, she's like my idol.
But I told you that from the beginning of this little podcast Zoom that my shows are about connection. I knew that you and I were connected, and somehow you went with 72, Audrey Hepburn, because Audrey Hepburn has actually been staring at you throughout this entire little chat right over here. Audrey Hepburn, one of your favorite actresses. You went with her. We're connected.
Stop. Get out. Okay, Josh just walked up in his room to a photo of Audrey Hepburn. Are you serious?
You went with, and I knew that you must have been a fan of her. She's your fave. You idolize her. Like, you are Audrey Hepburn's style icon.
Oh my God, Josh, that's crazy. I don't know how you did that, but I'm blown away. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah.
I want to try some more, just because I feel like we're on the same wavelength here. It's about 2:20. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change the time on my watch to a different time. I'm gonna go with this time. I'm gonna hold the watch here so I can't change. I'll show you the power of connection. Can you name a time, any time of day? Take your time. I'll keep this here.
Okay. 9:12.
9:12. Now, is that a random time or a time that means something to you?
It's the day and month I was born.
Okay, it's crazy because I didn't know that, but before you said 9:12, it's the exact time I put my watch. 9.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And
oh my God, you're amazing.
We're connected.
We are connected. We are connected. I mean, this is so fun. I could do this all day long.
So could I, because I literally have nothing else to do. Quarantine and chill, baby. Quarantine and chill.
Wow.
No, I do go out for walks. I do social distance strolls when it's nice out.
That's good. You need to exercise. You need to be out and get fresh air. I mean,
I usually walk like a couple miles to get pizza and then come back, which is it kind of cancels each other out. I walked to Brooklyn yesterday.
That's great.
Yeah.
What did you do in Brooklyn?
I went to F&F Pizzeria. It's good pizza. My favorite pizza in the world.
I saw that on your Instagram. Is that your favorite, you said?
My favorite's Lucali in Carroll Gardens.
That is my favorite, too.
That's my favorite pizza. That's the best pizza in America, if not the world. All around, it's amazing. F&F Pizzeria is very good, too. It's not too far away in Carroll. Also, I think in Carroll Gardens, from the guys that do Frankie's Spantino.
Yeah.
F&F is good. I love pizza. I love everything, to be honest. If you put food in front of me, I will eat it and make it disappear.
Yeah, absolutely. What is But the fact that you're doing all this and bringing, just talking about restaurants and eating out at restaurants and keeping all the restaurants in your sphere to kind of
Yeah.
get the word out right now to, support them is amazing. And, we at the podcast are, I just have to say, we're really, aside from your amazing magic, the fact that you were supporting restaurants as you do is really something that we were drawn to, and, doing good for the planet. Just curious, like, what is your favorite restaurant? Did
Well,
you have
that's a
a
loaded question.
favorite?
No, I love hundreds of restaurants for different reasons. I like so many. I mean, there's restaurant like in Williamsburg, Brooklyn called Lilia. I really like their.
Oh, I like that place. Yeah,
I
it's
like
great.
Lilia in Williamsburg. I like Resdora on 20th Street for it's the cuisine of the area of Italy called Emilia Romana. Resdora does a great job. Also, Osteria Marini does Emilia Romana cuisine. That's the region of Italy. Coach Korean Steakhouse is my favorite Korean
Love
steakhouse barbecue in the country.
it.
I'm a big sushi addict. There's a lot of sushi in the. I've been eating a lot of sushi during the pandemic. Some people I know early on told me they were afraid to eat sushi. No, I haven't gotten sick. It's good. It's fine. There's a place near me called Pado. Good bang for your buck sushi. Upper East Side, you got Ishikawa and Sushi Nas that are doing takeout. And these are sublime sushi restaurants. Hanoi House has great Vietnamese food. One of my favorite restaurants in the world, and I don't know if it's open during the pandemic, is called Gaia Italian Cafe. It's in the Lower East Side, actually, on Houston Street in Suffolk. This woman bakes her own cracker bread. Her name is Gaia, and she puts like little panini, makes paninis out of on homemade cracker bread. Or Abrazo, Abraco, Abrazo on 7th Street, First Avenue, best coffee shop in New York. Strong cold brew. They do an awesome olive oil cake, great pastries. The pastries are too good. But anyways, I like a lot. I can talk about restaurants for I know them all. I just eat all of it. It's my thing.
It's your
Foodie
thing.
Magician.
It's your jam. I love it. So what's next for you, Foodie Magician? What are you going to do? Like, what's the next, like, what's the big plan? Is there a plan?
You're talking about long-term, during pandemic, out of pandemic, now, tonight?
I mean, I'm just talking,
There's
like,
no, I mean,
what's your kind of, what do you want to see happen in the, like, I always, now it's like right now we're sort of looking ahead. For a while we were like, okay, we're in it. Now it's like, what is it going to look like? I know it's hard to plan things right now, but I mean, like, what would you want to see happen, or what do you want to see? Like, just sort of, what's your feeling about the future for
well,
yourself?
I would love a vaccine to the coronavirus so everyone
Yeah.
cured and we can go back to the good old days. Thinking about what I was doing in February and early March, and I was, I still remember some meals I had in early March, which was like 3 months ago. But it feels like February and March to me now feels like 3 years ago. It feels like a different time.
Yeah.
Because coming out of this pandemic, I think things are going to be a little, well, not like they used to be. It's going to be in terms of, for someone who dines at restaurants all the time, the restaurant landscape, I think, is going to be totally different. I mean, because a lot of these restaurants, they don't, I don't know if there's what kind of guidelines they're going to be like. Do you have to open like to 50% or 25% capacity, which is crazy, especially in New York where the restaurant industry, or before the pandemic, were on such thin margins to break even. It was a struggle. So now I don't know how the landscape's going to look, but I'm going to keep on dining out and taking out, supporting any way I can.
Yeah.
For life goals, of course, ideally, I'd like to have a TV show.
Okay.
Food, travel, magic, kind of like an Anthony Bourdain meets Robin Williams meets David Blaine. R.I.P. to Robin and Anthony, God bless them. But in terms of the environment, I'll keep on doing Zoom virtual magic shows and trying to make people smile and laugh, I guess.
Yeah, no, but but this is great. I love that you want to do a show. I think I totally see that in your future, by the way. I see that. I see it.
Well, one more thing before I go, because I did get a vision this morning of a name, and I wrote down a name on the back of a card, and I put it in my wallet, which is in my back pocket right now. No one probably can know this. I don't know this. What was the name of your grandmother on your mom's side?
Lily.
Lily?
Lily. Yeah.
Okay, I'm freaking out. Now, there's no way I could have known that, right? Because first of all, my hands are empty. Hold on, I want to make sure the camera can see this. Hold on. In my wallet, all day long, I had this business card. And on the back this morning, I wrote the name Lily, Lily.
Oh.
Name your grandmother. Isn't that crazy?
Oh.
Anyways.
You know what's so funny, Josh? She owned a restaurant.
Which restaurant?
She owned a restaurant called Mama Rizzo's. She was an amazing cook. She was from
nice Jewish girl. Beautiful.
Totally. Mama Rizzo's up near Lake George. And it's still there, even though it changed hands many times. My grandmother was like known up there, and she came from Italy, opened a restaurant at 50 years old, even though she came here when she was very young, when she was a little girl. But she just wanted to open a restaurant, and she did. And she was a badass and a very strong woman, and an amazing cook. So it kind of all circles back.
I know. We're all connected. Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Stay positive, stay healthy, and keep up the magic.
Thank you so much. And you too. Mwah.